Good morning.
What is up, party people?
A lot of things going on in the world.
For sure. December 12th.
Right,
Monday, December 12th.
right. I just got a notification. We're not going to go into it. I ain't read it yet, but apparently China and India just had a little gunfight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Because I'm pretty sure they were kind of sort of allies. So that's what I thought anyway.
I mean, they're neighbors.
Yeah,
They don't
still
always
trade. I mean, when we trade with Mexico, but we're neighbors. I don't really consider them an ally.
We trade with Russia.
And they're not an ally.
Definitely not an ally.
And we trade with China.
And we trade with China. They're
They're a trade ally. They're not a strategic ally.
They're that friend that we know, and we know that motherfucker, and we don't know why we're friends with them. That's who they are.
No. It's the enemy of my friend is my enemy. Is that how it works?
Yeah, but what common enemy do we share? They love Russia.
Yeah, I mean, right. I think that's kind of the reason why we protect Taiwan.
Right.
You know what I mean? No.
Right.
So
Japan protects Taiwan too.
China tries. They don't really protect them. They showboat.
They protect them like the Gotti family protected the shop on the corner.
Right. I mean, no one really bothers them because they know they got two world superpowers that'll come and
right
and do whatever needs to happen. But regardless of that, dude, we too much going on to get on that subject.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? I got a board full of things.
Oh, dude, I mean, you can't start anything without starting with Twitter. I mean, Twitter files. You got to start
dive
with
into
files.
the fucking deep end right off the bat.
I mean, you got to because those things are juicy, man. They're juicy from a.
But you ain't seen part 4 yet. Part 4 is spicy.
No, I working all weekend. I don't really get into it, and and then on top of that, man, when I'm looking at Twitter at work, I don't know how I miss it, but I don't really see how they, who or when Elon chooses who the next reporter is going to be.
Right.
I mean? So
I think he's saving lives by doing that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He most likely is. But he's also picking left-leaning journalists who have left the what is that called? They're like, that circle.
Yeah.
That circle of press where if you don't report this story, then you'll be blackballed, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So and Matt Taibbi left. He's an independent journalist now. He doesn't report for anybody. He used to report for Rolling Stone and all kinds of people.
Right.
But he doesn't report for anybody but himself now. So and the same with Barry Weiss. If I'm not mistaken, Barry Weiss was a New York Post, New York Times reporter, maybe. And her articles kept getting censored or something like that, and she left.
Well, I mean, this is part 2.
And I don't know how visible that is on the other side of the screen, because look at that. That's bright.
It is.
Is it Cameron out there? No, not anymore. I don't even know if
Let me
anybody.
see what I can do. Hold up.
Don't even know if that's visible on the other side. If you're watching it just on YouTube, how visible that is.
All right. Technical difficulties. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, we can work that out. We'll have to work that out another time. Didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's probably contrast, but
yeah, just say just turn the power off of that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just read anything off my laptop if we need to. Sorry about that. Anybody out there has a little unforeseen issue there. Might go back and have to go back and watch this live stream and see if you could even see it. We might just be overreacting.
Right. Let's joke it up. Let's look at it.
So our Twitter files number 2 lays out how Twitter employees would have blacklists for certain candidates and certain tweets, certain subjects. They all had lists of who could post what at any given time.
Right. They were watching who was getting out certain information in bulk.
Yep.
I mean, who's that? Yeah, that was yeah, he's got 240,000 views on that. 240,000 followers.
Yeah, these are these individual doctors that were being blacklisted that were saying COVID's not as bad as what they're saying it was, or whatever.
He said COVID's coming out in the next drop, or in the next couple drops.
This one is Dan
That's
Bongino.
Dan Bongino. He's got 3.7 million followers, and they put him. What was it?
How did they?
He was. Hang on. It says go up.
Search blacklist.
Yeah.
Notification spike.
Yeah.
So no notifications were going to his followers, and you couldn't even look him up.
Nope.
To find him.
Charlie Kirk.
Do not amplify.
Recent abuse strike. Notification spike.
Do not amplify. Multiple accounts. Strike count 0.
See, like he didn't even have any strikes against.
Yeah, well, or that means he's out of strikes.
Right.
3 strikes, you're out. He's out. 0.
Right.
Well, I don't really know. They didn't really label that, but same here. Strike count 0.
Well, I mean, what they consider hate speech is a pretty thin line sometimes. But no, they were definitely.
Absolutely. They even had terms, VF, visibility filtering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we called it shadow banning, and they were like, "There's no such thing as shadow banning."
So this is showing the employees being willingly complacent.
Multiple high-level sources confirmed its meaning. VF. So visibility filtering is the same as about visibility filtering as being a way for us to suppress what people see to different levels. A very powerful tool, one senior Twitter employee told us. VF refers to Twitter's control over user visibility. And all of that's done behind the scenes without the user's knowledge. Holy shit.
Yeah. No, what's it called? No notifications or anything.
Libs of TikTok.
Ooh, you ever listen to them?
Yeah. I follow them on TikTok. I like some of the funny shit they post. Like libs melting down and shit. Those are my favorite ones.
They are, but some of that shit ain't funny.
Yeah.
Some of that shit's downright. Sometimes it reminds me of Buffalo Bill.
Oh shit.
See some of these people. It's like, wow. Dude, I got a line the other day and tried to sign up for health coverage and my phone ain't stopped since.
Yeah, dude, because they sell your information to every fucking body. I hate that shit.
Anyway. Yeah, they were just changing rules.
They were making rules to
as they went along.
There was one point in here where it's on 3. It's Twitter Files 3, where they actually what was the owner's name again at the time? Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey had a conversation with a couple of his chief executives, and we're like laughing at the fact of what government employees were asking for.
Oh yeah.
Like some of the things they were asking to be censored were just downright ridiculous, and some of them were like
did you see the things did you see the thing where he said I definitely wasn't meeting with the FBI? Wink wink.
Yeah. I did. So I mean, dude, Twitter Files is deep. And
oh yeah.
I think we knew that there was a lot of this going on, but the only way that this was ever going to come to light was Elon doing exactly what he did. And even if Twitter, as its social media company, fails,
Right.
he still owns the platform. So he can rebuild it into his Twitter X that he wants.
We're going to end up with a mega app.
Because yeah, of course. That's exactly what
They
China
keep fucking
has.
with him. He's going to replace Google.
Look, there was a moment a couple weeks ago that apparently he said that Apple was going to take Twitter off of the Apple Store. And he was like, okay, go ahead and do that. That's not a problem. He's like, I'll just make my own phone. And the very day that he said that, like Apple shares dropped like $30 a share or something. Everybody was like, oh shit. Don't do that, man. Come on. Can we just have this one thing? That shit was fucking hilarious.
Love him or hate him, he's the closest thing to Batman we got.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just the right, just the mere speaking of his voice and like inflated an imaginary crypto coin.
Yeah.
Dogecoin doesn't exist. There is no physical coin. It's not real. It's like a social media currency. It has no physical value at all. And at one point, that shit was $100 a share. Like, motherfuckers were getting paid off of a fake fucking currency.
Right.
Oh, man, my nose is itching bad today. Whew. But yeah, this is number 2. So, yeah, Twitter. What is it?
I said the cat slept up against me last night. My allergies are crazy this morning.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know you had a cat. So, anywho, Twitter Files 2 definitely.
Look right there. I mean, you know, we got to go up above. It's only half a verse. Roth wrote, hypothesis underlying of what we've implemented that if exposure to, e.g. misinformation, directly causes harm, we should use remediations that reduce exposure.
Yeah.
Limiting the spread virality of content is a good way to do that. He added, we got Jack on board with implementing this for civic integrity in the near term, but we're going to need to make sure a more robust case to get this into our repertoire of policy remediations, especially for other policy domains. Dude, they knew what the hell they were doing.
Oh, yeah. They did
every
exactly
step of the
what they
way.
were doing. And that's exactly the reason why everybody that use Twitter is flipping out right now.
Right. Well, all right. So let me apologize then, because I assumed they all knew.
So,
like, I assumed people
this
knew that it was an.
This is going to be a separate thing. If you want to go follow them, what you just read.
Yeah.
This is a separate story.
Right.
There's more to come on this story, which was reported by at Abigail Schreier, all those guys, and the team at Free Press. Keep up with this unfolding story here, but then you go right down here.
Yeah.
The authors have broad and expanding access to the Twitter files. The only condition we agreed was the material must first be published on Twitter. So there's more to this part of the story.
Right.
And if we want to dig into it, we can check that out there.
I definitely will.
Yep, Matt Taibbi for number 3. So we'll go over there and jump over there real quick.
Yeah, number 3 was. But
oh, yep, this is it.
Like
he labeled it 1. That's why I was like.
The problem was they didn't hire Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton would have made sure this got deleted before we got it.
Oh yeah, dude.
I bet Jim Baker's looking like a douchebag right now.
No, because then that makes Twitter executives responsible, because that was the thing. That's why you knew
they hired him.
That's why you knew that once he made that offer and they accepted that offer, from that day forward, there could be no more adjustments or whatever to the files. Because dude, they have their number one, any stockholder or any executive of a company that's publicly shared, is their number one goal, number one core value, or whatever you want to call it, is to make the shareholder money. They have to act in that authority and that authority alone. So that's why he offered so much. If he offered just exactly what Twitter was worth, we're like, nah, fuck that. We'll keep it for that.
But if he offered that much,
He offered, at the time, it was $10 more per share. I think the shares were like 42 or 44. And he offered 52 or 54 per share for a total of $44 billion.
yeah, which makes this sell in the best interest of the stockholder, which almost makes it.
But they couldn't refuse it.
Exactly.
And then if they tried to delete any of these files, then that's some kind of business. I don't know if it's an ethics violation or if it's a criminal thing or whatever. But once they accept that bid, all this shit belongs to Elon at that point. They're not allowed to delete this shit.
Man.
So the problem is, I think it was in Twitter Files 1, is that all the employees got so comfortable doing this because it was Twitter. Who the fuck is going to buy Twitter? Who the fuck had, at the time, $30 billion laying around to buy Twitter? They used it as their own personal playground. And they wasn't worried about these files getting out because who the fuck's going to buy Twitter? Well, Batman.
Elon. Yeah, Batman.
Batman. Anyway, this is Twitter Files 3.
Yeah. So
and this is a lot about Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and about how he got censored and this, that, and the third.
What hasn't been revealed, the erosion of standards within the company in months before January 6th, decisions by high-ranking executives to violate their own policies, and more against the backdrop of ongoing documented interaction with federal agencies. And that's a really good fucking summary of this entire drop. This first installment covers the period before the election through January 6th. So, tomorrow, Schellenberg will detail the chaos inside Twitter on January 7th. And on Sunday, it hasn't dropped yet, Barry Weiss will reveal the secret internal communications from the key date of January 8th. So, they
look at this.
Okay, so whatever your opinion on the decision to remove Trump that day, the internal communications at Twitter between January 6th through January 8th have clear hysterical import. Even Twitter's employees understood in the moment it was a landmark moment in the annals of speech. It was the first head of state to ever be suspended.
They marked it. 4/26 that day, January 8th.
Right. As soon as they finished banning Trump, Twitter executives started processing new power. They prepared to ban future presidents and White Houses, perhaps even Joe Biden. The new administration says one exec will not be suspended by Twitter unless absolutely necessary. But what makes it absolutely necessary? Because if I were
right here,
if we had fancy,
there's the actual statement,
right,
or the actual email or whatever,
right.
That's insane.
And he's using another account to evade the ban. So I mean, they're really watching him. You can't.
So that's why they suspended at Donald Trump, because that's the one he used. He didn't use at POTUS or at White House until after he was suspended.
Right. And I mean, look, man, I don't care what party you are. No, who the fuck are you to suspend the White House? context surrounding. One executive called the context surrounding actions by Trump and supporters over the course of the elections, and frankly, the last 4+ years in the end, they looked at the broad picture, but that approach can cut both ways. Dude. And this Vijaya guy, everybody says Vijaya.
JJ?
JJ. I'm assuming it's Vijaya.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tropical punch drink.
Like, damn it, man, we had another one. What are we going to name this one? Mai Tai. I like Mai Tai. I like Vayaya. Yeah, let's Vayaya. That sounds great. And I don't even really know how to say his name for real, so we're just going to keep making fun of it. So,
it's the redacted parts. I think the redacted parts are government officials.
Yeah, they definitely are. And this is a response from that same government official or anybody.
Right.
I'm working with so-and-so on my team to put together a document to share with you with a POV from research, our academics with whom we have been working on DJT, Donald John Trump, language as coded incitement. Damn, I need my glasses. As coded incitement to further violence. Whoever that was responded back. In the meantime, here's our quick take. The decision on whether to pull that particular tweet or use that as a last straw for Trump depends on many factors, including one, the overall context and narrative in which the tweet lives.
Now, the burner in this is, if you fast, I think it's in this drop, fast forward up toward the end, there's a tweet where he's telling people to stay calm and go home. But
that tweet was
but they were like,
or something.
Yeah, they were like, what the WTF? Like, what the like they had it taken down immediately. Like, that's
this is where I saw this one at.
Yeah, Yo Roth is all over this. Yeah. Not meeting with the FBI, I swear.
Yeah.
Dirty scoundrels.
Right.
Like I said, I always assumed people knew that
that was former trust and policy chief.
Yeah.
By Vayaya Gotti.
You hired a Gotti? I'm just kidding.
Not well.
Totally spelled different.
What is that, like a half-ass Gandhi? I mean, you forgot the H, dude. Like, at least.
Well, you knowingly hired a former FBI lawyer. You hired the guy that took the FISA documents.
Right.
For your, like, you knew what you were doing. This makes everybody complacent in what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like,
and as soon as these Twitter files dropped and we found out who James Baker actually was, that motherfucker was escorted off the property immediately, according to Elon.
Yeah. So let's pop over to 4.
All right. Who dropped number 4? You know, I don't know if I follow them or not. Let's go to the bottom here.
Up at the top.
I thought there's a link at the very last. Was I wrong? I thought I saw a link.
I didn't write it down.
It was under that name you just said just a minute ago. Vander Street or something.
It is. Ooh.
Well, you fuck. 27. Where is that? This should be it. That's it. That was the end. There's no link. I thought there was a link on the very last tweet.
Hang on. I'll find it. I was just looking at it last night.
But look at that. The very last tweet in that Twitter files drop. Examining the entire election enforcement Slack, we didn't see one reference to moderation requests from the Trump campaign, the Trump White House, or Republicans in general. We looked. They may exist. We were told they do. However, they were absent in these files.
Yeah. It's a stinger.
So they might still be there. But for now, the Republicans are completely innocent here.
Yeah.
But I definitely thought there was a link on
To
to the next drop on that end of that thread.
it's in here. Hang on. I'll find
Yeah,
it.
we'll find it.
I just had it up last night watching
Is
it.
it Schellenberger? Was that the one? I think it was that Schellenberger person.
Michael Schellenberger. I just pulled him up. Hang on. Yeah, Michael Schellenberger. Hang on. Trying to find number one.
Oh, here it is. Oh,
Yeah.
it's right here. Right here. Oh, part 2 where Barry Weiss. It's part 2.
There's
Part 3, that's
two,
what we just
part
looked at.
3. And then I guess here it starts. For years, Twitter had resisted calls to ban Trump. For years. For years. So, like, from the time he got in office, somebody,
Or shortly before he got into office.
yeah, somebody was already. So,
In 2018.
who?
Yeah.
Who?
It's Hillary.
You think Hillary?
Probably. She was behind all that.
Well, yeah, I
shit.
mean, if the Biden campaign was using it, then I'm sure it would make sense. Blocking a world leader from Twitter, it wrote in 2018, would hide important info and hamper necessary discussion around their words and actions.
You think?
Oh, you knew that, did you?
But after the events of January 6th, the internal and external pressure on Twitter CEO at Jack grows. Former First Lady Michelle. What the fuck did I just? Oh, I just made it bigger, right?
Yeah, go back up.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. But after the events of January 6th, the internal and external pressure on Twitter, CEO at Jack grows. Former First Lady Michelle Obama, tech journalist Kara Wisher, and Chris Sacca and many others publicly call on Twitter to permanently ban Trump. So we got, I was watching some people from Mexico talk about the Twitter files, and they were all making fun of the Kraken picture.
Right. Oh, shit. Fuck that all up. What was his name? Stressenberger or something?
Yeah.
Damn. You know what? I'm kind of
Schellenberger.
I'm kind of glad I don't do this shit. Like, if I did this shit professionally, I think I would be fired soon.
Oh yeah, we definitely. Just somebody done left.
Oh, Cameron, he left a long time ago, I think.
He said he was at work.
Oh, so it wasn't him.
Okay.
Here we go. Part 5.
Four. He said COVID's coming soon. So
let's see. On January 7, senior Twitter executive create justification to ban Trump. Seek a change of policy for Trump alone, distinct from other political leaders. Express no concern for free speech or democracy implications of a ban.
What the fuck you doing?
I hate it when my fucking computer does that, dude. Just come on. Thank you. Yep. For those catching up, part 1, Matt Taibbi. Part 2, Barry Weiss. Part 3, Matt Taibbi. Here we go. Yep, we already read that part. January 6th. Yep, we read that part. Here we go. Dorsey was on vacation in French Polynesia the week of January 4th through the 8th of 2021. He phoned into meetings, but also delegated much of the handling of the situation to senior executives Yo Yoel, Twitter global head of trust and safety, and Vijaya, head of legal policy and trust. So while Jack Dorsey was on vacation, these two guys were running Twitter.
Yeah.
Which there's no reason to believe that they weren't running Twitter when Dorsey was around.
Well,
I mean, you're the CEO. You want as little responsibility, as much money as possible.
As hard as he tries to stay incomplacent, the further we get into things, the more complacent he obviously was. He knew what was going on.
Well, he's the CEO, not just the CEO. He created Twitter. It's like telling me that fucking Zuckerberg didn't know what was going on. He just openly admitted that he realized that Instagram was steering young girls to dangerous websites. Just announced it this morning on the little ticker.
Yeah.
I was like, so, you know, when you own something outright, you know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know I don't know what point Twitter went public, but Jack Dorsey created that shit. And he was the CEO of it after it went public for years. So he knew. Not only did he know, he instructed several people below him to operate in the same fashion.
Right. Right. You can see that's donations. Yeah, you can just obviously they were donating like a bunch of money to the DNC. Why is everybody donating to the DNC?
In 2017, Roth tweeted that there were actual Nazis in the White House. In April 2022, Roth told a colleague that his goal was to drive change in the world, which is why he decided not to become an academic.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They've
Yeah, man, that's a whole bunch of, and you know what, like there's nothing that can be done.
Right.
That's the thing. Is there is nothing written in our Constitution or in our laws that say what happens after we uncover something like this. Because this is direct suppression of conservative voices. That has a direct impact on voter turnout. It absolutely fucking does. So, but there's nothing that can be done. You can't uninstall a fucking president. You can't just impeach him because of what you find out 2 years later. Because you still have to convince Democrats to impeach him, and that'll never happen.
Right.
Or right now, you have to convince Democrats to remove him, and that will never happen.
No.
Because we got the Republican majority in the House. We could probably impeach him.
Can you imagine Kamala Harris as
president? That
president?
Any good, but that doesn't do any good. Just like it didn't with Donald Trump. Impeachment means nothing.
Right.
I'm still sitting in the fucking Oval Office. You didn't do shit. You just wasted time. Okay, I'm impeached. So what? I'm still president. Go fuck yourself.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens. It's like when you get offended. So what happens? Nothing happens. Have you seen that skit? Yeah. It's great. I'm offended. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a great skit. But anyway, so yeah, those are juicy. We've been talking about those for a few minutes. What else you got up there on that magic board of yours you got?
Well, let's see.
While he's looking at that board to kind of round
the Arizona election.
Subject, but,
okay, well, $2.2 trillion is missing from the Pentagon.
Well, that's nothing new though.
Last time that much money came up missing.
Well, it's like a couple years ago. They do it all the time.
That's true. Even if that's 73.5 years and seconds, by the way, 2.2 trillion.
That's interesting right there. That's interesting. But you know what? I don't see how, because
how do you lose 2 point? You're worried about my $600.
Dude, I'm fucking pissed off if I lose $10. How the fuck do you lose that kind of money?
I'm pretty sure if we add up all the money we've sent to Ukraine, it'll probably
come to that. Probably come to that. So I mean, I don't know. I think if they did an audit, and that's exactly what needs to happen, dude. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what the exact word is, but starting over in a lot of phases. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like completely get rid of the military budget and rebuild it from the ground up.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
It might take years.
From the beginning, dude, from the beginning of
can.
time, all the way back to whenever we started keeping track of humanity. All the way back then. If nothing else, all the way back to the dinosaurs and Neanderthals. You had those 3 Neanderthals that were willing to come over the little fucking knoll there, get past the T-Rex and the Brontosaurus herd to kill these motherfuckers over here to take what they had.
That don't have nothing to do with.
That's what military.
That don't have nothing to do with.
You can't do away with the military budget.
I didn't say do away with it. I said do away with it and completely rebuild it because there's entirely too much waste. Entirely too much waste. Yeah, there's no reason why they need to waste that much money. And I'm not just talking about defense or military. I'm talking about just our government alone. Our government, I'm sorry, get the fuck out. You miss me with that shit. Nancy Pelosi does not need 6 assistants.
No.
Fuck me. Fuck you.
No, that shouldn't be defense
That's
budget.
government waste, but it's government waste.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm talking, the only way to get rid of government waste is to rebuild budgets completely from the bottom up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just talking about military. I just use that because we were talking about that, the 2.2 trillion. How do you miss that much money?
There's a lot of fat to be cut in a lot of places. However, here's my confliction. I agree that senators and Congress people shouldn't be allowed to trade, shouldn't be allowed to run their own businesses, and shouldn't be paid high salaries. I agree with that. But I also believe they deserve a certain amount of respect and a certain standard of living in repayment of properly representing me, which they don't really do.
Right, I'm trying to see where you're going with this.
So I don't know, like, how do we work out that pay scale? Like,
no, we see the problem in that scenario. In that scenario is you have.
Yeah, I lost my own train of thought at the end of that one.
Yeah, well, I understand where you're trying to go. I get where you're trying. I get where you're going.
Right.
You know what I mean? Basically, what
She's
you're saying.
made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And you can plainly see it's insider trading.
Exactly.
You can't argue your way out of that.
And it's not. You won't ever catch her insider trading.
Got to watch her.
You won't ever catch her insider trading. You will catch her giving her husband tips. And you'll never, because that's a personal conversation that they had at dinner table.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you should really look into this company and, you know what I mean? Like, I get that. I get that. My thing is where basically I'm just talking about Nancy Pelosi, but we could talk about any representative or Republican, Democrat, Independent, Senator, Representative. I don't give a shit. We can talk about all of them.
Right.
I'm not singling anybody out, but they use the money that they're budgeted for their office. They use that as they make personal trips, and their own personal stuff is included in their White House budget.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much government waste. And that's how these people get rich. It's easy to get rich when you have $174,000 a year to invest because all your bills are paid because of this budget.
Right.
And you can say, oh, I'm working at home. Had to pay my mortgage. It comes right out the budget. because they
Must be
get,
nice.
I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you. But even our local representatives, Alex Mooney, he represents the Northern District in House of Representatives. Dude, he's been caught several times buying Chick-fil-A for employees and family, and like that's not what you're supposed to use campaign funds for, but he does it.
Right.
You go sit here and tell me that suburban payment doesn't come out of his budget because he uses it for work.
You know, nobody's harder to convince than family.
Right.
I mean, they really know the guy.
Right.
If he's going to get their vote, he's going to have to buy some Chick-fil-A.
Right. And a suburban. And that's the thing. And I'm not hating on him. If he knows a way that he can, there's no reason to hate on people. It's like hating on a millionaire because he knows how to evade taxes. I don't hate on him. I think that's fucking smart. If you'll teach me, that would be very thankful for that.
Right.
But they don't teach me. They just hide the secrets.
And
then they charge you $49.99 for 17 installments for a book that don't teach you shit.
It's like Trump said to Hillary, if you don't like it, change the law.
Yeah, he said it. Like, you paid no federal taxes. That makes me smart.
Yeah.
It does. It does. And I know how you do it. I just don't know how to implement it into my day-to-day life.
Right.
So.
And they said Elon Musk didn't pay his taxes. And he's like, actually, I paid more in taxes this year than any human being.
No, because you
ever
know what they're trying to do. And that's what makes Elizabeth Warren, people like Elizabeth Warren, fucking idiots to the everyday American.
Right.
And I don't know how people in her district in Connecticut, unless they're just so out of touch with the rest of the world, I don't know how they keep reelecting her. She's a fucking idiot. Because you're right. That's why Elon Musk, Bill Gates, I mean, you can keep naming them. Jeff Bezos, name them. What do they all have in common? Millionaires and billionaires. A good majority of them. You know the one thing they have in common? None of them, not one of them, and y'all can research me on this if you want, because I'm pretty sure I heard this correctly. Not one of them have anything in personal income.
No.
They don't bring home personal income.
No.
All of their money is wrapped up in that business. So they don't have personal income. They have business income. And business income, you can do all kinds of shit with taxes on business.
You can write off a dozen eggs.
Or you can write off everything.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing. Just like I said, you could put your Suburban, and it's not under Justin. It's under A&A Acme Manufacturing. The title belongs to Acme Manufacturing.
Right.
You don't own that.
No,
your company does. But now it's a tax write-off, and that's how they do it. It's fucking genius.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to implement that on my $40,000 a year salary. That's the thing. Somebody teach that shit to me.
Well, I mean,
because I don't have a Suburban.
If the guy wasn't totally full of shit, I was listening to a guy.
But that doesn't. I mean,
I was listening to a guy a while back. Yeah, I was listening to a guy a while back who was talking about something like that, and he said, "All you got to do is buy a house, start a business on your laptop, where you're drop selling on Amazon. You now have a business. That's now an office.
Yeah,
that office exists in that house. Your house is not."
I'm starting to learn these little tricks.
Yeah.
So here's what you do. This is what I've learned so far, and I haven't implemented any of this, so don't nobody say I'm a fucking hypocrite.
I haven't made $600.
Hell no, but I'm just fucking researching shit. But anyway, basically, you set up an LLC,
right?
And you set up a company bank account under that LLC. The money that you make from your job every week when you get paid, you transfer that money out of this checking account, your personal checking account, and you deposit it into your business checking account. And then you pay all your bills from the business checking account.
Yeah.
So now all of these bills at the end of the year, all of these bills become a tax write-off. And that money that you take from personal to business becomes a personal loan to the business, from you to the business. That builds equity in the business. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all coming together now.
Yeah. Why am I not doing this?
I just need to
Well,
come up
well.
with something. Maybe I'll start making my famous beef jerky.
Right.
Just do something I can do on the side.
Right. I need a side hustle
mean,
too. I need more money.
It is pretty famous.
Right. It is some hella
in my
good
little
jerky.
circle. It's pretty good fucking
It
jerky.
is. It is. I don't think I could do it. The price of beef jerky?
But dude, I got a
Wow.
I got a 12-pound sirloin in my freezer
No way.
that I bought like a couple weeks ago for like $36. 12 pounds. Dude. And I'm getting ready to slice it. I'm getting ready to make jerky later today, and that's one of them, huh? You motherfuckers.
So what about, dude? All right, let's
Let's move on. What else?
Well, we do. There's a whole world out there. So yeah, we complain about Africa being like the most mineral rich country in the world, and yet the people are in poverty.
Do we complain about it?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a conversation in the first couple episodes before we were talking about the biggest gold seam on the planet.
Oh yeah.
You know, they do all the cobalt mining, they do all the lithium mining. You got these little kids running around in a lithium mine. They call it the playground from hell.
Right.
I mean, you know, so we can have batteries.
Yes.
I mean, not just for electric cars, just so we can have batteries. That's lithium. It's in
every battery in
our
existence.
laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in everything.
So, but you know, I just got bored sitting at work the other day, and I was like, how much coal comes out of the ground in West Virginia?
Well, it's several different kinds of coal, but
65 billion a year was the total Google gave me.
$65 billion
Profit a
or
year.
Ton. Oh,
$1 billion.
Money.
That's how much money.
Much coal. Okay,
no, that's how much money is made for. Well, I mean, how much coal comes out is
65 billion
is irrelevant. How much money comes out
per year? It comes out of the ground in the state of West Virginia.
Yeah,
a lot of that is
profit.
Steel making coal.
Yeah,
it's not home heating or anything like that. It's good coal.
Yeah. So, I mean, why is it so shitty to live here? I mean, we got money. I mean, if they're paying their proper taxes on 65 billion a year, we got money.
Let me
like that's.
So I'm gonna dabble into that situation for you real quick.
Let's go into that because that's a lot of money. I'm just saying we pay a lot of taxes. We pay really high gas tax. There's a lot of money.
Look, you don't need to say anything more because I can tell you because you and I both have this one thing in common. We have many things in common, but this one we both know the same people that had more money than they know what to do with and walk into their house and see a dog shitting on a $7,000 carpet. Listen, it doesn't matter how much money you got. If you're a piece of shit lowlife, you're a piece of shit lowlife. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. Dude, I know coal miners that make $100,000 a year and live in a fucking single wide trailer with 7 dogs and 4 broke down cars. They choose to live that way. They make good fucking money. You cannot take the holler out the dude. I don't give a fuck how much money you give him.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the same reason why millionaire people that hit the lottery hardly ever keep that money a few years down the road. The money's usually gone. Certain people just aren't smart with their money. It is what it is. Yes, the people that we both know, yes, they're rich as shit.
Right.
But they had no common sense. No, don't let your dog shit on the carpet. But you didn't care because
dogs, 14 chihuahuas to be exact.
So yeah. But dude, like I met a dude. I used to work with this dude. I'm not gonna put his name out there because he's a pretty good dude. I ran into this dude. I worked with him at Berry Hills, who I think has had one of Virginia's kids. All right.
Right.
Dude, like this dude was a gangster. I'm saying tattooed up, skinny as fuck, sagging pants, flat bill hat. You know what I mean? The perfect for her.
Right.
She loved that type. Dude, it was so funny, man, because he told me this story about how he did all this work for them at the house. And they owed him like $1,000, $1,500 for this work that he had been doing around the house.
That's true.
Him and the whole family.
You work for it, you spend smarter.
Oh, that's true. 100%. 100%. That's why my dad always said most kids are Democrats until they get a job.
Right.
And I never fucking understood that shit.
Right.
Most kids want the government to spend this money or that money until they get a job.
Yeah.
But
and shit.
But dude, you know, anyway, back to that quick story. Anyway, they went to France and left without paying this dude. So while they were in France, he went to their house and stole the gutters. You know, the copper gutters? He stole the gutters off the side of the fucking house in a fucking $1 million subdivision on a weekend. And you're on the side of a house. No. Manor.
Oh, fuck.
Up at their fucking house.
Oh, jeez.
Took the copper gutters right to the recycling center.
Can't take the holler out the boy.
Right. You
right.
ain't shit. You owe me money. I'm taking these.
Mexican shit. Dude, ask the car in the garage.
That was great.
Man,
that story had me fucking dying because I can only just picture. And this dude is like, I promise you, he ain't no more than 5'4", skinny, white dude.
Man,
and that house is tall. You're 30 feet off the fucking ground, taking gutters off the side of a building. Like, what the fuck? You're a fucking gangster, bro.
Dude. He probably had help too.
That's the
fun part.
That story has me dying.
Yeah, dude.
But basically the point is, you just like you said, you can't. Money don't make you less stupid,
man. So Brittany Griner.
Yeah, just another misstep by Joe Biden.
Is she a dude?
I don't care if she is or not.
No. I have a conversation to have now. Hold up. We got it. If she's a dude and married to a woman, she's not a fucking lesbian.
Right.
Why is he, long-haired guy, I know a couple guys with long hair, why is he playing in the WNBA on the Olympic team? That's funny. But I'm just saying, if like
look, dude, it ain't no different.
Well, I mean, people serving what's his name? Mark Fogel is in there for weed for 14 years. Yep. Now we're not going to get into Paul Whelan because Cat got caught with a hard drive. He might have been on some espionage stuff. You want to play the game, you played the game.
But
if not, he needs to come home. But he's a Marine.
Regardless. Brittany Griner, man or woman, who gives a fuck? I don't. But it doesn't matter. She is an American citizen and deserved to come home. But you don't fucking trade an arms terrorist for a basketball player. You know what?
If that's the only option, she didn't deserve to come home.
It's not. It's already been reported. Russia gave them the option. Pick one. They chose Brittany Griner. You know why? Because that's who fucking Joe Biden caters to. People of color, LGBTQ, and females.
But if it's a dude married to a woman,
it's not. You get off that bridge, bro.
Okay.
It's a female taking hormone blockers or hormone replacements. You know what I mean? But she hasn't been for 10 fucking months. I promise you that.
No.
Because Russia don't play that shit.
No. I don't know if you've seen the video of her on the plane, but she had a hoarse throat, scratchy or something.
Hey, who knows? You know what I mean? when you're not in America, it's not legal.
You heard the Saudis brokered the deal? I'm going to look into that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, we're not really friends with Saudi Arabia right now on any kind of fucking level.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's like freaking Iran brokering that wheat deal with Russia or Russia and Ukraine. Like, how the fuck you got Iran brokering anything?
Is there anybody out there, somebody,
excuse me,
anybody can tell me how they believe that Joe Biden's national relationships are a good thing? Like his international policies are.
He has no international policy. He's been shot down by the Saudi prince. Wow. Just a few weeks ago, he literally rolled out the red carpet for Xi Jinping. And not just that. That's just one.
Oh no, Reagan.
And then
Bush Jr., Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and Donald Trump, he bowed to when he shook their hands. Obama bowed to his father, and he walked out and fist bumped Joe Biden like he didn't really even want him to fucking eat dinner. Like he treated him like a bad father-in-law.
Well, yeah, he should, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, this motherfucker just called me a murderer. Especially if it's not true, I'd be like, no, you're not welcome in my country, bro. Stay the fuck out.
It's not legal federally. No, in Russia, it's not legal at all. Now, if you didn't know,
you talking about THC?
Probably, yeah. I think it's not legal. No.
Yeah, there is no.
Technically, the trade wasn't legal federally. I mean, we traded the man they call the merchant of the merchant of death.
Yeah. For a woke basketball player.
You know what but I'm gonna say something, you know. I'm gonna pull a yee. I'm gonna say something you're gonna hate. The reason we imprisoned him was because he was getting ready to arm Mexican drug cartels because they were trying to plan some kind of attack somewhere on our southern border. That's the right. Okay, Eric Holder sold.
But you got to hold off on 1 second on that.
Cartels.
Like, this dude, the American justice system, as fucked up as it is one of the fairest in this world.
Right. Oh, no.
So if he was convicted, he got caught doing some shit, bro. You know, so let's be real. We've seen.
Oh no, he got caught.
We've seen people get off on technicalities. Child rapists go free all the time,
and he got caught
just because a child won't testify against him. This dude got caught with some shit, or he wouldn't have been in prison.
Yeah. Oh,
so
he got caught.
Whether he was trying to arm or he was actively arming, I think he got caught red-handed.
Oh, he did. He was arming,
and that's the reason why I would have never done that.
He was arming Mexican drug cartels and I believe American gangs for some kind of attack.
If you want this dude back, you giving me all of my people.
Let my people
all of my
go.
People. No, every one of them.
But dude, he was. I don't know what the hell. Like,
it's just another misstep. Misstep. That's all it is, man.
That's really where you wanted to go with.
And I heard it put very, very, very well the other day. Joe Biden is the administration of first, not best.
Right.
The first black woman to do this, the first transgender to do this, the first thing to do that, the first, not the most qualified or the best person for the job.
The first.
We're just going to do the first. And that shit has his whole administration in shambles.
The motherfucker in charge of getting rid of our bad uranium. Where's, is, look, okay.
Are you having a stroke, bro?
Where do I start?
I don't know. But
where's lipstick?
Start with
is into the BDSM pup play. Fucking yeah, you're right. I got
See, you're doing it again.
He's
stroking the fuck out, folks. I was gonna leave for a second and go get my coat, but this motherfucker is over here having a stroke.
He stole luggage from an airport and then ran around wearing the ladies' clothes all over the fucking world.
You forgot the best part. This motherfucker makes $100,000 a year. Why are you stealing luggage?
He's giving seminars on BDSM play on federal pay.
Yes. Gotta love this shit, man.
Somebody took his face and put it on all the Born Supremacy movie covers the other day, and I gotta tell you, I fucking died.
Yeah,
that was great. The funniest shit ever.
That's great.
No. Like have you really thought about our administration?
No, I try not to. I'm just trying to get through it.
Like they're going to take a picture of all these people together and put it on the wall in the White House.
And the next Republican president is going to kick that motherfucker down the hallway.
They can't.
The
It's
fuck
a
they
historical record. It's going to be like 2009, 2015, or 2016. You know, all these professional looking people. 2020.
And then when the apocalypse happens, this is going to be the one we draw mustaches on people.
Right. Dude, did you see, toe off subject, bouncing like a little rubber ball? The police chief, God, I wish this thing worked and we could have PowerPoint and put this shit together right. The police chief the guy with the beard that testified to the January 6th committee, the guy with the tattoos and the beard, the police chief, the Capitol police chief.
Oh, that dude. Okay, yeah.
He said he was there that day, or he wasn't there that day. He was off. He had something going on and he wasn't there. There are pictures of this motherfucker. He's in the brown coat with the Confederate flag inside the Capitol that day. He's one of the people in the Capitol.
I haven't heard that one.
We get a PowerPoint working. We're going to put this together right.
Yeah.
But, dude.
If you want, I can leave this laptop up here.
Okay.
And you can play with it all week. I'll just give you my password.
Does it have PowerPoint on it?
Yeah, should.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, I'll make some stuff work.
Should.
Yeah. But, dude.
But, yeah, that's
I have a feeling, you know, they want to get it done, but they're just not enough of them to really get to the bottom. Just the Ukraine. I want to see the Ukraine audit, but that's going to take a lot of people and a good amount of time, you know.
You and I, we generally are very short-sighted individuals.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Republican Party, and I'm sure the Democrats do this shit too, but the Republican Party as a whole is not, they don't give a shit about 2022 or these investigations. The GOP party as a whole is looking at 2024 and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why, like, that their long-term strategy, they can see that the plans that they are implementing now are working because of how many people we've added to the Republic. 10 million kids turning 18?
Right.
I don't know what that number is. But, dude, if you can add a few of those to your Republican or your Democratic caucus, then, you know, that's where it's at.
But the people that run our education system don't teach civics like they taught us.
They don't teach anything like they taught us because they don't want you to know.
Well,
dude, uneducated people is easier to control.
Yeah.
That's why they don't teach history. They don't teach what happened in the past. That's why they don't teach you how fucked up this country has been to some people.
Right.
Dude, we've done tests on people that will make you cringe.
Oh, yeah. We still do.
I was going to say, we still do.
MK Ultra is an ongoing fucking program, and you can look it up, and that shit's been going on since what, 1956? Now, if they weren't making any leeway, if things weren't moving forward,
right?
Google SR-72.
Oh,
something fun.
I seen that.
Yeah, wow. But I mean, if they weren't making leeway in these, you know, I would love to know what sciences the government is top secretly dwelling into. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, there's it's 2022, and if you think about what they were doing in 1930, 1940, you know, they didn't scrap all those programs.
Oh, hell no.
Like,
that's just the same reason why we still have laws on our books from 200 years ago that don't even apply anymore. They don't go back and scrub the law books and update them or anything. Just like they don't scrub.
No.
When you drop $1 million in the 1930s, dropping $1 million into a project was a lot of money. They didn't scrap that project. Hell no, they didn't scrap that.
No,
They didn't. They don't research it anymore. But the outcome of that research is still locked away somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They warehouse that shit.
Fuck yeah, they do. Which is exactly the reason why we were funding that fucking lab in Wuhan, because it was easy to hide.
Well, I don't think the one in Wuhan was the big one.
It might not have been.
I think
how do you get this shit off here?
I mean, we had several, according to the Russians, we had several there was a map that had like 8 or 9 in Ukraine, and then they like checkered all the way down through Africa. Dude, are we
okay, yeah, there's PowerPoint right there, so you can play with it.
Are we just like, is the world extremely impoverished areas and trying out new medicines?
There's no reason not to believe that. You know what I mean? Because it's the same reason, when you're, back in the day, these Spanish explorers come over here and killed off hundreds of thousands of fucking Native Americans with their diseases.
Right.
It was traditionally smallpox, but there was other diseases out there too. But, it's no different. Like when you have these tribes and these people that live indigenously in Africa, South America, those are, I can't even hardly say this without cringing, but those are the perfect test subjects. That you know what I mean? Because they haven't been exposed to any of today's medications.
Right.
So they're clean slates.
No, they haven't been exposed to half of our virus.
You can't tell me that our country is not fucking some people up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Testing shit, and it's fucked up. Every country does it. But I hate it when people get on these podcasts. I watch a lot of them, and they're just like, America's this, that, and the third. You know what I mean?
No.
We are fucked up, bro. We are the best fucked up out of all the other fucked up countries.
Well, we're looking at it wrong.
But we're the best fucked up.
You're right. We're fucked up. Let me say some shit nobody's gonna like. I like that video on Facebook. It's got dude from Full House, and he's like, "You're right. We're not the best country in the world.
Oh yeah,
but we used to fucking be. So, and I can remember Barack Obama.
Yeah,
I can remember him talking about bringing America down to the level of the rest of the world.
Right.
I can remember, the beginning of the coexist movement, which was actually not too far into the Operation Desert Storm when all the coexist began. And I can remember when the riots began under Obama in Milwaukee and in Baltimore. And, and nobody puts it together. Everybody talks about these bigger key events, 2 or 3, but nobody, I've watched this country decline on those levels. Economically, it already sucked. All right. I was already working and not making money. So economically, it was already shit. But I've watched the physical decline. And it started, we're going to start a fire. It started with Zimmerman. I'm not saying that caused it. That wasn't a catalyst. I'm saying that's the event where for the first time in history, a president got on stage in tears, talked about the death of a young man, put himself into a father position of that young man, cried, put a lot of emotion into the speech, watched a riot ensue afterwards, and didn't tell people to stop. In fact, quit using the word terrorism when people would run into places screaming religious phrases and shoot it up. I can remember when we were watching the news at first screaming, why would you use the word terrorism? Like everything you just said blatantly is what we call terrorism after 9/11. Why didn't you use that word? Why are you not like that? That was when we started catching the news and going, why? And then we desensitized to it. But I can remember when all that began. I can remember when the Facebook arguments started. I was the one getting blocked by people because I was saying 10, 15 years from now, here's where the fuck we're going to be. And
Yep.
I fucking told a lot of people so.
And we are here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where this is going. Like, and we are at the point where it's not that we're arguing, we are dehumanizing each other.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And that's, sadly, that's what the government has become. The government has realized, we see all these Facebook memes all over the place. The government has realized, China just realized this too, just recently. The government has realized that the people really run shit. The people are the ones that if we just stand together, united, on a united front, we can crush this government. The government's realized that. So their goal is to keep us as separated as possible, whether that's through religion, financial separation. I mean, even all the way down to what neighborhood you live in. They always find a way to. Right. I feel that 100%. I deleted Facebook probably like 3 months ago, and my life is way better. I still like TikTok though. That's my guilty association with social media. But yeah, I feel that Facebook has gotten horrible, and I just don't even participate anymore.
I think the whole Elon Musk thing is really bringing forward that the control of information can sway everything.
Yeah, absolutely. If nothing else, that's what we've realized is that Democrats have been plotting behind the backs of the American citizen for years, using social media as a way. And these social media companies are all very, 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 very left-leaning individuals. So it's not hard to sway them to do the dirty work of the CIA or the FBI.
Right.
Because they're already easily swayed.
Well, right now we're looking at Twitter. Anybody want to discuss really want to get into what went on at Facebook? Google. I mean, Google has been claimed to have went into people's computers and removed files.
See, that's deep.
Like
that's deep. See, I don't really use my computer or shit like that. I don't really have a lot of files that I keep on my computer. I really don't. And
right.
I just don't.
We definitely need more constitutional lawyers, but I mean that needs to also. I mean, how constitutional is the DOJ right now and the FBI? We don't need. It's okay. Simply said, the Constitution needs to be reread and understood by everybody in the government. I don't feel like they really give a shit about the Constitution anymore. Like
they don't. That's what I was just saying while you were gone. That's the government's job anymore. The government's job, it realizes. And as you was walking out the door, I said, China just realized this. China just had one of the largest protests we've seen since Tiananmen Square. You know what I mean? And what did they do? They conceded a little bit. Even the Chinese government conceded a little bit.
Ever seen ants?
And they released, they eased some of these COVID restrictions, which these people were protesting for. And even the Chinese government, which is known to murdering people, conceded a little bit. So, like I was saying when you were gone, the governments realize that the people can take over these governments at any point in time. The people are way more powerful than the governments.
Right.
And they're starting to realize that. So the governments are using any way they can to keep us divided.
Oh, yeah. You know, okay, well, let's ask that question too. We know what went on at Twitter, what went on at Google, what went on at Facebook, what's went on at YouTube.
Well, we know what happened at fucking Twitter.
I mean, YouTube censored a lot of people. They've censored Dan Bongino.
Yeah, and they will continue to do so. I mean, they made it almost impossible for Joe Rogan to even be on be on, and he went to
Right.
Spotify because of it.
Right. Which
You know
I
what I mean?
appreciate because I pay for
But
Spotify.
YouTube fucking. Well, I don't pay for Spotify. I still listen to Joe Rogan. It's a free podcast,
Right.
but you get other premium services through Spotify. But I don't pay for none of that shit.
Now I actually got a Twitter account when all this stuff started with Elon Musk buying it, and you know, I can't say I'm disappointed. I
No.
look at it more than I look at Facebook.
But Twitter was always better than Facebook.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to use it. Twitter, even when it was run by the liberals, you know, and they had it on lockdown, you could still go on there and find anything you wanted. You wanted to find some porn, it was there. You wanted to find some nerds playing fucking whatever game nerds play, Dungeons and Dragons or something. I forgot the names of these games now, bro.
Yeah, you know
You could find anything you wanted on Twitter.
the
It
Joe
didn't matter
Rogan
what it
trial.
was.
No, I didn't watch the Joe Rogan trial. What did he get tried for, dude? I'm
Oh,
oblivious.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
Probably,
what did he get tried for?
probably getting sued for some dumb shit. She just said a circus trial, so it's
No,
probably
yeah. Well, I mean, they're all circus
he
trials
just got sued for some
nowadays.
dumb shit.
I'll be honest. I was waiting for Kyle Rittenhouse to be a circus trial and him get thrown under a jail somewhere just for principle, but no, no, that judge wasn't having none of that. Like,
Last I heard,
like,
this man has lawsuits against everybody,
no, but he hasn't won any.
but
And he
well, it
hasn't,
takes
like-
forever to go through that.
I
process.
follow him on Twitter, and he makes it very clear, very frequently, that he has not officially been to court for any of these lawsuits
No,
and
he
has
won't.
not
It'll be a
won
while.
any. Yeah, so
But they're big ones.
Yep.
MSNBC, Wall Street Journal, LeBron James, Oprah Winfrey. Like these are big people he's suing.
oh yeah,
It's going to take years to
Oh,
get
yeah.
through this. But when it's all comes and said and done, this dude is a fucking Second Amendment hero.
oh he lost
To a
that
lot of people.
lawsuit. What was it over?
What is she talking about? The Joe Rogan lost or
Yeah,
Kyle Rittenhouse lost a lawsuit?
no, oh I don't,
I don't know. We were just talking about it. I
Yeah.
don't know what she's referring to, but
But
that's insane. It's hard to tell. I mean, people.
I know the kid that sued CNN over the Indian guy in his
Yeah,
face.
the fucking Sanderson.
He got
Sanderman.
some money out of that.
Yeah, he did. Because
Yeah,
they
he
called
did.
him every name in the book,
Oh,
just like they did Rittenhouse. They called this dude a murderer, a Nazi, a fucking terror. They called him everything.
See, but
Like, what the fuck?
at what point are you influencing? Like, there's no way. I don't feel like there's physically any way any juror was picked for that law, for any of these cases, a lot of them, that haven't seen the news coverage on television.
No.
Like,
And that's why when you have high visibility cases like that, that's one of the questions they'll ask. Have you seen any coverage on it? And if you say no, they're not going to select you for that jury because, motherfucker, you live under a rock.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Where the fuck do you live? You haven't heard about this case? The whole city was on fucking fire. Like, how did you not hear
I don't know
it?
nothing about it. I was asleep.
Yeah, so you're instantly get the fuck out of here. You better have heard something if you want to be on this jury, bro. Shit, Like, you better heard something. Stop.
Those big people have big lawyers. Oh yeah.
For
oh
sure,
yeah.
without a doubt.
Oh yeah. That's the name of the game, though.
But those big companies, they also will never go to trial. They don't want their name in
Yeah.
trial, so they always settle.
Oh yeah.
So if you have a decent lawyer, the big lawyers don't really scare you that much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
'Cause
live in
all you're
poverty
gonna do
now.
is just negotiate. You finally get a settlement, so we can just write a check.
I'll live poor now and plan for a good
Dude, you
retirement.
will never see MSNBC's name on a fucking court docket as the fucking defendant. Never. They will never allow that shit.
No. No.
They will never allow that shit. But they're gonna negotiate. And
I
get
don't
that
know,
number
man.
down.
I don't know. Let me just throw it out there. We watched one of their employees get caught milking the one-eyed gopher on a fucking live Zoom call, and somehow they were able to real smoothly pave that over and get him back on the air.
Milking the one eye. Hey, look, no, but hey, You know, what was that?
That was a
dude's name?
Bloodhound Gang
What?
quote,
Yeah.
by the way.
What was that? No, dude, I was listening to fucking Sirius XM radio the other day. I've been paying for it forever. I just never listened to it. And I fucking had it on there the other day. And the greatest song that I've heard that I haven't heard in a very long time came on the radio.
What?
Fucking, what was it? What is? Oh, Whitney's Big Brown Beaver
Oh God.
from Primus.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, the big brown beaver.
I jam a lot of Primus and shit at work.
Oh, great.
They hate my music. It's kind of funny.
They will try to wait you out. I started acting as my own attorney 10 years ago. Fuck yeah. Because these people are untrustworthy. They don't work for you unless that's a fact.
That's an absolute
That's a fact. And that's even why all these fucking injury attorneys, they're like, oh, you don't pay unless you win. But they're not going to take your case unless they can win.
Unless they know they can win.
Yeah. It has to be clear cut. This motherfucker damn near ran over me.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I just had a buddy of mine. He got hurt in a car wreck while he was at work. All right. The attorney that took his workers' comp case took 25% of his workers' comp check. Every 2 weeks, he got a workers' comp check. The lawyer would take 25% of that workers' comp check, plus a fee after he collected his settlement. I was like, what? Not only are you out of work due to no fault of your own, your workers' comp only pays 66% of your salary. Now the lawyer's taking a chunk out of that. I was like, bro, that's fucked up.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Right.
But now he's about to get paid. But still.
I have a structured settlement, but I
Yeah.
need cash now.
JG Wentworth, when are you gonna light that up? You holding
And
up.
that's why that shit exists, because they know what you just said.
Yep.
There are people out there waiting for $1 million settlements, about to lose their apartment
Yeah.
and be homeless.
And they're like, dude, you got so much money. And that fee is nothing.
No.
You got $1 million settlement and you're gonna charge me $5,000 to wire you some money?
Eh,
That's chump change.
right.
Yeah, I'll pay you $5,000. That's how they. That's,
Some
but
people
dude,
get into it and
where-
abuse it.
No matter what it is, where if there's a successful business, there's a need for that service somewhere, or they wouldn't be around.
Right.
That's the greatest part about
That's-
capitalism.
Yeah. You see a
can
gap
sit there-
in the market, you feel it.
You and I could sit there and bitch all motherfucking day about how these damn Dollar Generals pop up out of the middle of nowhere, but they wouldn't be there if they didn't make some money.
Right.
These motherfuckers are put together in a day and a half.
It's replaced the rhododendron as the state flower.
Yeah. Like Dollar General stores probably have Dollar General stores being born in the back of Dollar General stores. Like they're just popping out the back end. Like, but yeah, dude, they wouldn't be there if they didn't make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, I get it. Capitalism's great, but it has its issues.
Yeah.
It has its,
No, because the court system does not want you learning that you can protect yourself for a less fee than the attorneys are going to make. They want the attorneys to definitely make their money, and attorneys don't respect you at all in court, and they show that when you come into court.
anytime you got a public defender, he's like, I'm just going to plea bargain your shit. I don't care if you're guilty or not. Just I'm going to plea bargain your shit.
Well, I know, but what I don't get is, right? I like to argue. Yeah, me too.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
fucking.
Well, then you're going to be a great fucking attorney.
Yeah, and you're gonna like being around here because I will tell you the grass is green or the grass is blue, just so we can argue about it.
No, that's Kentucky. The grass is blue over there.
No, it's music, dude.
Oh.
Bluegrass State is about music. When I was a little kid,
You sure?
when I was a little kid, my aunt used to take me to Kentucky once or twice on the weekends, and they tell me it was the Bluegrass State, and I would spend the entire fucking weekend looking for some blue goddamn grass.
But it's everywhere.
I never figured it out. I never caught on until I got older. I could top that one. Growing up over here, There was an old man. His last name was Carter. Alcoholic, died of cirrhosis. And my entire life growing up, I thought the saying, I got more of this than Carter's got liver pills, was a reference to the old man across the road that died of cirrhosis. Cirrhosis.
I don't think you can die from psoriasis.
Well, whatever.
I hope not. Jesus
I'm like,
fucking Christ.
I'm like out 1,000 miles away in the Navy, out in the middle of the ship, and somebody goes, "Well, we got more of these. Carter's got liver pills." And I
Like,
just
how the fuck do you know Carter? This motherfucker is my next door neighbor, bro.
What the fuck? That's the day I learned it was
And
like
this
a
motherfucker
product.
that you said that to instantly knew this motherfucker was some dumb redneck.
Oh yeah,
He was like, you're in charge of what now, sir? Shit.
actually,
We're all gonna die.
aircraft weapons to be exact.
No. Don't tell that pilot that.
Hey, what's the worst gonna happen? I mean, McCain's the one that started the fire in the forest. Will I get a raise?
Right? Hell yeah. That was a funny little segment there.
Yeah, dude.
That was
Dude.
great.
Yeah, I'm a dumb hick.
Yeah, well, shit. Me too.
You
I
know
mean,
what?
I got me some papers though.
Right.
I got me an education. I got me one of those bachelor degrees.
So, like I said, I was telling you last night, if you want to go into it, I actually sat down and listened to the whole Alex Jones episode with Yee.
Yeah, you touched on that, and just like I've said in the past on this podcast, Alex Jones is too much for me. If you want to touch on it, he said some interesting things. By all means, go touch on it.
But watching Alex Jones get uncomfortable is one of the most entertaining things on the planet. Watching Alex Jones go.
Well, yeah, dude, he just got he has to pay like $800 million or some shit for free speech.
He's over there talking, and he starts looking like a little kid who didn't get a sandwich at lunch. Like he starts going, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, I love Stalin. I love Mao. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. So what's that say? If Alex Jones is too far, then Yee
But I'm
might be
gonna-
too far for me. Because
yeah, but I'm going to say it again just to start a fight. What he said, beginning to end, about all those people was, I want to be a good Christian. No, that's where it starts the fight. He said, my job is to love people. And I love everybody. And then he went down the list of the most horrific motherfuckers who historically existed on planet Earth.
right, but
And said, I love each of these people. And you can't do that.
But the thing is, man,
Yeah.
the thing about that is like that's just controversial. That's
Right.
him because that's what Yee does.
Right.
That's what he's always done.
Right.
You know what I mean? From the very moment that he stormed the fucking stage when Taylor Swift won an fucking award. You know what I mean? It's all eyes on me or nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's got to say, at this point, he's got to say controversial shit to stay relevant.
I know he sold his soul, or he's
And
part of some kind of like
I don't know what's up with him.
because there's no way you act that way and dress that way and you're a celebrity.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him. Like, I
Like-
don't know what it, and I hope everything works out. I hope
Like,
it turns out that a lot of what he said was true. But I just
Dude.
I don't know, man.
dude, the Balenciaga hole digs itself so fucking deep.
that's too much for me. Like, I can't.
Well,
And the thing about it is, that's twice in 2 years that we got a hold of some info about some fucking children being taken advantage of
well,
with Epstein Island and now Balenciaga, and we're not doing shit.
they
nobody's
connect
doing
each
shit.
other because Rachel Chandler was the talent recruiter. The one finding the kids for the Balenciaga photo shoots. And she was an Epstein recruiter. Oh,
Any proof to that she was an Epstein recruiter?
yes, she was part of the trial.
You're talking about the dude that's in Biden's administration?
No,
Is that
no.
Who is it?
Rachel Chandler she recruits for Balenciaga.
Oh,
She's a talent recruiter for Balenciaga.
I thought it was that transgender dude in fucking Biden's administration.
No, that's the dude. That's the dude that's into the pup play.
Her name's
and-
Rachel too,
and
right?
I
Pretty
don't
sure
know.
it's Rachel.
No, I'm pretty sure that you're talking about the food and safety.
Yeah.
But no,
Wears
the
Navy
uranium,
uniform every day.
the uranium, yeah, the uranium guy. You know, the one that steals the women's clothes from airports. Now, to be fair, that was a nice piece of luggage.
That's why it was stolen. That's why it was stolen. And then not only did he had plenty of opportunity to return it too. So, but yeah, that Balenciaga thing, that's just like, there's no way that's two big stories in just a couple years, and there's no way that there's no truth to it.
Right.
And the fact that the White House and our government as a whole is just silent, it's scary.
Right. Right. And then you
And
got
yes, it has-
Ella Hinoff, who's Harris's stepdaughter. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to count this as interesting or not, but she was hired 2 days after
After
the
inauguration.
presidential inauguration.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, you know, it only gets creepy because of the BDSM gear and the fact that they keep throwing up the letters BAAL. Like, what's going on with these people? What are y'all up to? What are you? Is it desensitivity shit? Is it?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, dude, if there's
Are they
an
just seeing
actual
how
push-
stupid we are before we catch on?
Look, if there's an actual push, and there are, and you and I don't follow it because it's not interesting to us,
No.
but there is a push to literally make being attracted to a pedophile part of the LGBT community. Like, there's an actual push that MAPs should be respected because you're attracted to kids. And I don't follow it. I can't tell you what that number is, but it's a big enough following that it happens.
Right.
It happens. And it's fucked up. It is fucked up. That's all. There's nothing else really to say about that. That's
Right.
just one of those subjects where it is just fucked up. And usually these stories don't really even make it to light. And then we got 2 stories in just a couple years.
Well, again,
Like,
he's the
what
one
the
that drugged this out. He's the one that said his kids were being sexually or.
But then that photo came out, and
Yeah,
and
wait.
it was like coincided with all this other
Right.
shit, and that was. And then that photo comes out, and the fucking caution tape has ball on it.
Right.
You know,
And like these people are
That's,
literally putting religious symbolisms that, you know, what's the word? Naive people wouldn't care about or see or recognize, but it's very. Well, I mean, you know, none of us are perfect. We all got histories.
she said, "I'm waiting to see her on an episode of Patrol
I just, you know,
Live."
there's reasons Justin doesn't go to Virginia Beach.
Hey, Virginia Beach has definitely changed.
We have an understanding. We had one when I left.
When I was a kid, that place was nasty. That place is beautiful now.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into it. It still
Yeah.
smells the same though. And I
No,
was down there a couple years
I was
ago.
down there a couple years ago. It's clean, man. It was real clean.
I always
I was
like
surprised, actually.
my favorite thing was to always go over to Portsmouth and walk the harbor side. It's relaxing.
Right.
You know, it's quiet. But yeah, the beach, you know, when I went up there, I would take the longboard. I liked living down there. It
Dude,
wasn't
it's
bad.
fucking, I didn't realize this because I never really looked at it, but it's 7 hours and like 6 minutes from here to Myrtle Beach. And it's 7 hours and 4 minutes from here to Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
I was like, shit,
I like.
it's the exact same fucking distance.
See, I was in the Navy. I've had enough beaches. Ain't nothing
Yeah,
out
but
there in that water I want to fuck
it
with.
ain't
I like,
about-
I like mountaintops and,
It ain't about that to me.
I like a small
I mean-
mountain running stream, and you know that's my pace. I don't
Yeah,
like the
and that's what I
beach.
enjoy doing when I'm by myself.
Yeah,
But me and the family, we want attractions. We want stuff to do. We want, shows to see.
Attractions
You
are
know,
expensive.
Yeah, they are, but fuck, you save up for a vacation every year. I'm gonna spend that fucking money. Fuck it.
Right.
It's only money. Can't take that shit with you.
Right.
So
Definitely can't.
definitely can't.
Can't get enough of it while I'm here either. Though.
Nope. I got a little bit in savings, and the rest of it shit I'm spending. Fucking, I'm not taking shit with me.
You know, it's Christmas time every year. You know, everybody else is worried. I just go for broke.
Yeah.
Starve a couple of days. I'll get paid again. We'll get back
That's
one
good.
time.
That's good. Yeah. Come like January 1st, I'll call the power company and set up a payment arrangement because they didn't pay the bill this month.
Right. Right. It happens every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been kind of watching the Arizona election. And
well, whatever you call that.
Carrie Lake ain't giving up.
Nor should she.
No, she ain't. She's
she?
like, fuck y'all. I want to recount.
And she's taking it all over to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The fact that the Twitter files have shown that Katie Hobbs asked for suppression
Right.
of certain things that she didn't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? That alone says that she was part of the suppression of Republican voices in Arizona.
Like I said, man, he started a bigger fire in Brazil than he started here. Man, the people of Brazil, everybody's out in the street because they knew they was robbed. They knew they were robbed. They were complaining about it. And he's like, yep, y'all were robbed. They're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a big difference. And I've never been to Brazil. I can't speak on how they live. But dude, no matter what happens, no matter how bad a situation is, the American people as a whole are really not going to revolt the way you see in other countries like that, because we have it so fucking good here. Like, dude, the poorest person in this country, the absolute homeless, poorest person in this country still has it better than hundreds of other countries.
Right. There's no kids going through the garbage dump looking for half a banana today.
Our homeless people here, even here in West Virginia, have cell phones. That alone makes them richer than most homeless people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
yeah, we're up in West Virginia. We're not too far away.
Yeah, I like Tennessee.
Yeah, it's not a bad little area. I want to go down there and start the AT.
Yeah, I heard fucking Nashville's a fucking cesspool and Memphis is a cesspool, but a whole bunch of other areas of Tennessee. What is that? My buddy just moved from Collierville.
Yeah, Collierville. Collierville.
I don't know how you say it. I think that's where it is. He just moved from there. Came back to West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia has definitely turned into a really red state, like red state.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how fucking Joe Manchin keeps getting elected. So I'm pretty sure 2024 is going to be his, unless he switches to independent the way Kristen Sinema did.
Joe?
Like, I don't know how he's going to keep his seat because we're really red. This state is really red. Like,
what's the movie where the guy looks at the other guy? No, Dumb and Dumber. And Joe's actually a really smart guy, but it's like that scene in Dumb and Dumber when he goes, just when I think you are the dumbest son of a gun on the planet, you do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
Yeah.
He does yeah, Joe Manchin knows. Joe Manchin will ride that train with the Democrats, and he knows when to go, whoa.
Yep.
Nah.
Joe Manchin is a Democrat.
No,
he will not be changing to independent.
I know you need my vote, but I need my job.
But he knows when to move more independent or move more Democrat.
Right.
He knows. Right. He's smart about that.
Right. He never really moves Republican.
If you can continuously be reelected as a Democrat in a Republican state, you're doing something.
Now, what shoots me is how Shelley Moore Capito keeps getting reelected. And it's not like her decisions now. She's the one that brought Hillary Clinton. Anybody else remember when Hillary Clinton came to West Virginia and we threw beer cans at her? No. Shelley Moore Capito is the one that hosted Hillary. She shows up and coal miners start throwing beer cans at her limo. Damn it. We got to. I'll find the video.
Well, Shelley Moore Capito, the way she stays elected is her service to the people. And I can't, I can only imagine how many people she's done this for, but the little shit, you know, like when my father-in-law passed away, he was a 25-year veteran. Served 25 years in the military, 8 years as a drill sergeant, and 5 of those years in Vietnam. This man died fully decorated. We couldn't find any of his fucking paperwork. We couldn't get him buried with military honors because we couldn't find anything. Dude, we called Shelley Moore Capito, and in 72 hours, not received in the mail, not signed here, please, hand delivered by someone from her office. This motherfucker had a Shelley Moore Capito name badge, official campaign worker, hand delivered this shit to my fucking girlfriend. A whole packet full of his whole service record, bro.
Dude.
And she comes through for the people. And that's why she keeps getting elected.
Dude, my dad passed away in the middle of COVID. And I don't even realize he passed away in the middle of COVID when I think back on it, because the general that was in charge of the state knew my dad.
Yeah.
So when he called in about the
General
funeral,
Hoyer? Was it Hoyer or Tackett?
I think it was Tackett.
Tackett?
Tackett's retired.
Yeah.
But
Well, so is Hoyer.
some
now, I
phone
think.
calls were fucking made. And they basically were like, what COVID restrictions? I mean, this is when people weren't allowed to have it. What COVID restrictions?
Yep.
My dad's funeral was a normal funeral. We're from West Virginia. We burn couches. That's what we do.
Mustard bottles. Yes.
Yeah. We burn couches in the street. It looks like the old Judgment Night.
We know
movie.
what Tennessee does.
Dennis Leary.
Look, the Tennessee fans were warned via email. Do not tear down the field goal.
Yeah.
What the fuck did y'all do? We tore that bitch down and threw it in the fucking river. That's exactly what they fucking did.
I told you, man. When you see a sign with some horrendous crazy shit on it, it's there because somebody did
Somebody's already done this before. We know what y'all Tennesseans do.
They got back in the water and pulled it back out. Nobody wants to get charged for this.
Hell no, it's $150,000 goalpost. Somebody is swimming for that bitch.
I want to know who the guy was that was trying to get it in the back of his truck.
He said they got
back in the water and pulled it out.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
When I lived in Pittsburgh, we used to run down to Morgantown. On Sundays, you can't buy beer.
Right.
So I would run down to Morgantown on Sundays and get beer. And when I would come down on like a game night, dude, like I said, it was like, remember the old Dennis Leary movie, Judgment Night, where all the couches were on fire?
Oh, yeah. Dude, the old school Mountaineers, oh, man, there'd be couches, dumpsters on fire. It doesn't matter. After a big win, dude, we was setting shit on fire.
Yeah. If we lost, we were setting your bus on fire.
Yeah.
Good times.
The Mountaineers are, and that's a fucking still a great time. The fucking energy is electric, man. It's fucking still a great time, dude. I love Morgantown. I would love to go to a bigger school, like Tennessee. I've been to a Hokies game. I've been to a couple Pittsburgh games. You know, those teams are all about the same size as the Mountaineers.
Right. I went
Can
to a
you
Pitt
imagine
game.
going like a Texas game? I mean, that's 100,000. I don't know what the Tennessee stadium holds. Probably 50 to 60,000. That's huge.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like Dallas Stadium's over 100,000 people. Can you imagine that shit? 100,000 people.
Go into family law. Fight for father's rights. Somebody needs to.
Somebody needs to, but there's no money in that shit. And if you're graduating law school, you are deep in debt.
I feel like, and you can totally correct me if I'm wrong on this. I feel like there's a lot of areas in law that's waiting for its superstar to come in and start trying to get with senators and rewrite some of these laws. Like, and try to make changes, because, you know, if you're a defense attorney, there's certain points, or if you're a human being, forget kind of attorney you are. If you're a human being, you know where the right and the wrong is in the job you're doing. correct? So, you know, if you see that people are constantly coming in with broken legs to be checked into the police department, and you look in the law books and see that there's really no fucking law against it, seems like somebody needs to. If people don't start getting more proactive from the bottom up, there's not going to be any changes. The change isn't going to come from up here where the people don't have any knowledge of what it's like down here. The
Right.
changes are going to have to start coming from the bottom up.
Right.
You know, it's like
And by
police
you saying
officers,
that-
God bless them. Police officers themselves have backed off of marijuana just a little bit. They're like, I don't care about it.
Yeah, because it's too much paperwork.
Yeah,
it's,
And
I
it's
mean,
not so
it's
so
not
there's
even-
change from the bottom up.
right. And but
You know,
yes, I see where you're
That's an
going. from.
example.
But how far on the bottom? Because you can make all the laws in the world, man. But
Yeah, see,
Selective
selected
enforcement,
enforcement. That's exactly, yeah.
exactly. But you can make all the laws in the world. It's no different than these gun laws. You make all the laws in the world that you want, and only law-abiding citizens are going to obey those laws. When you start talking from the bottom up, I think it's further than that. Like, what's really the problem with our society is these kids have no home training. You don't know how to fucking act in public, bro. You know what I mean? Stop, like she said, selective enforcement. Stop prosecuting these fucking young black men with fucking marijuana offenses. Stop locking these motherfuckers up.
Yeah, because you're taking away future opportunities.
Keep the father in the home so that they can be raised. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
the problem.
Right.
And then you subsidize single motherhood with the food stamps and the free rent and all the other shit, and you just make it easy. That's the decay of our society, is there's no home training.
That's true. You're right.
You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
And because these spoiled ass, no home training ass kids eventually become adults. And we all know that adults act the way they were raised.
And then
We-
you get
we
what
all
you
know
had
that,
at GW.
That's just my opinion, of course.
You heard what happened at GW up at the high school?
I heard about a fake active shooter. That was South
No,
Charleston,
that
though.
was South Charleston. That call came from the Midwest. But no, up at the high school up in South Hills there,
Yeah, GW.
apparently a male beat a girl into a coma right in the lunchroom.
When was this? Recently?
This was like this week.
Oh shit!
They don't promote the nuclear family ethics and morals anymore, but
Exactly.
you will see Ball, the name of a child eating god, in your local magazine with children holding teddy bears and BDSM gear, while the Ukraine makes the Orthodox Church illegal because they claim they're pushing Russian propaganda. Yep. But nonetheless, what was I saying?
Yeah, you went off on a tangent.
I
there for a
saw that,
second.
I saw that when that popped up. Yeah, but no, they don't. They
Yeah,
don't.
no, they don't.
But anyway, apparently she was beat into a coma and nobody jumped in. Now I'm going to set aside all the times that I've complained my son had a little bit of a issue when he was in school with hands-on and anger. But I tell you what, he wouldn't have stood there and watched that and not jumped in. Nobody jumped in.
Exactly. How many of those people
Nobody
that
jumped
happened?
in.
When that happened, there's always a crowd that forms. How many of those people whipped out their phone?
Right.
And then nobody stopped this fucking dude from beating up this girl.
I'm proud to say my son would have took an ass whipping
Yeah.
jumping in.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to sit there and try to get into the actual details of what happened or how it
Yeah,
went
because
down.
it's all very vague and there's rumors.
can't
and
do that
stuff.
anymore.
But no, what the fuck though? Nobody jumped in. That's just a bad sign of humanity. These are the leaders of our future.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You know
insane.
what? When the end of the world happens, I bet there's some really fucking good cell phone footage.
Oh, for sure.
I bet that cell phone the archaeologists found in China, that
World
old cell
Star!
phone. I bet if they ever get the information off of it, you'll see like a comet in the sky.
They'd be like, ooh.
They filmed it.
Right.
Everything just goes in circles.
We're going to be famous. We're going to die from a nuclear explosion.
No one's going to know your name unless you stand next to a wall and
Right.
become a shadow. But man,
damn, it looks like we actually cleared the board for once.
Yeah,
It took
you
us fucking 2 hours.
do you want to
but
go
we
into
cleared
my
the board.
conspiracy theory for 40 seconds or just leave it alone?
No, go ahead.
Did you
can
find
go,
it interesting?
Go on.
Is anybody into the Q movement?
That is definitely, for me, I'm definitely a
Man, suicide's always a horrible thing. Yeah. One guy, we knew, good shit. Good shit. I was getting on the interstate one night and pulled a lady from a burning car on the highway. And she was frantic. I don't know what was in the trunk of that car from Michigan, but she was frantic. She needed the bag out of the trunk as it engulfed into flames.
probably a stash of vapes. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Probably. But anyway, this fell into my lap the other day, and I'll give it to you as best I can. The only real information I'm able to find, other than a book I'm going to order off Amazon, are 3-minute videos. You know, but Operation Truth was a 1920s Germany, when Stalin took power, operation. Nobody really wanted Stalin to take power, so instead of fighting in opposition, Stalin decides he's going to start his own opposition. There are uprisings, protests, arrests. There are secret meetings from heroes who were not seen in public, and there were investigations into the existence of this whole movement, and it just like it was full force, full on. They were after this group of people that were going to uprise against Stalin. So
Right.
The people out in the countryside were cleaning their guns and washing their clothes and waiting for this uprising to begin so that they could jump in and help the uprising that's going to keep Stalin from taking power, because, well, nobody really wanted Stalin in power.
Right.
So never happened.
It's kind of
And
like
Stalin got power. So
it's kind of like the
I was
kidnapping
in,
plot to kill the governor or to kidnap the governor.
yeah.
Like, it wasn't a real plot; it was just a fake FBI thing. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, but then the fact we got Truth Social and they talk all this crazy stuff about JFK, I just feel like our government is pulling that plot. Q's a psyop.
yeah,
Q's a definite psyop.
dude.
Like, it's a psyop. This may come down the road to be one of the most interesting psychological operations in the history of mankind, whether it succeeds or fails.
Dude, you know,
Jimmy Hoffa, if you like podcasts, you need to listen to Patrick Bet David interviews Sammy the Bull, and he interviews Michael Franzese on separate occasions. And they talk about this. And Hoffa is basically, from what I gathered, has been cut up and thrown to the fishes in one of the Great Lakes. You're not going to find Jimmy Hoffa. You should really check out those 2 interviews, though, and they're top notch. I love Patrick Bet David.
Dude, like,
Patrick Bet David.
yeah, that was. There were a couple good podcasts for sure. I watched the Sammy the Bull one. I haven't watched the Franzese one yet.
Our thing
But
is wonderful,
the
dude.
way Sammy the Bull talks about some of the shit that he did so many years later, you could tell. I could see it in his eyes and I could hear it in his voice. Back when this guy was young, he was a force to be reckoned with.
Oh,
Like, he was, even speaking about it today, he sounds like a stone cold killer.
you need to listen to
He
Our
is.
Thing, his podcast, Our Thing, where he's just telling his stories.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
But
No.
dude, you can go. Let me get back. We're kind of straying off.
Yeah,
from your
yeah, yeah.
Conspiracy theory there for a second, because I do have one point that I want to bring up before we get off of here. 2001, we got attacked.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows that. Shortly after that, maybe a year, less than a year, the government installed the Patriot Act,
Yeah.
which gave the government broad-ranging spying capabilities on its own citizens. Now, look up on your phone or when Facebook was created. Facebook is a psyop.
Oh yeah, it created
and it's become the world's leading collector of facial identities and data, and all this was created by the CIA.
Oh yeah.
Which is exactly the reason why Zuckerberg was so willing to cooperate with the FBI. Yes, they made him a billionaire because they put his face on it, but the CIA created this shit. So you talk about psyops, and I don't. Q is too much for me. Just like Alex Jones, they are too fucking far from me.
Yeah. Look at the time when Donald Trump's watch.
Yeah, them motherfuckers think Donald Trump is Jesus. You know, like
A&E did a show around the corner from her house. Well, sweetheart, they filmed Buck Wild in my hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, MTV's Buck Wild. That was her. That's cool though. Charles Manson was born on Wolfpen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Manson was born a stone's throw from here.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
That's the level of crazy we deal with here.
Hey, it is what it is.
We look at Florida man like our brother.
I hope not. That guy's crazy. That guy's too far out there.
This is where Florida man keeps a vacation home.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I used to love watching them shows, like the Swamp People and shit like that, because them motherfuckers make me feel kind of normal.
Are you sure? Is Megan Fox a boy? I just gotta ask.
No, she's way too cute.
I mean, she talks about drinking blood and shit. It gets pretty fucking creepy. I'm not down in anybody's.
She is dating
not down in anybody's good time. Trust me.
She is with Machine Gun Kelly, so that dude is weird. Weird.
I believe these men are selling their souls. There's no way, there is no way in hell of all the men in celebrity world. She looked over at Machine Gun Kelly and said, "That's the one."
No, but see, celebrities don't want to date non-celebrities.
No.
So they have to find one that they're.
You know how hard it is to find a non-celebrity that'll let you drink their fucking blood?
Yeah, well, hey.
I've said drink your dirty bathwater, but you get near me with a knife, we got a problem.
Right. As is another reason why the fucking celebrities are fucking in their own little bubble. It's just like everybody was all up in arms over Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And look, I like Johnny Depp, and I don't give a fuck.
Look, I didn't
their little private little bubble was confusing as fuck to me.
If you look at me again and tell me Johnny Depp smokes a lot of weed and does a lot of cocaine, just wait for the surprise. Just wait for it.
Right. They did it together. You know what I mean? They're both fucking stupid. They're both insane. But dude,
I didn't care about it until the whole she shit in his bed thing, and then I was like, "What?"
And I still don't care about it.
That
sounds like something you out of touch fucking celebrities would do to each other.
I'll fucking say it. I'll do it. I'll say it. You know what? I've been through some shit relationships, and I've had some women try to drag me through the mud over being ways that I'm not, and blah blah blah. So I caught a little bit of relation in the trial, but I didn't watch it wholeheartedly. But I was like, I felt Johnny. I've been through that shit. Hey, I've seen a Bigfoot, but we're not going to go into that. Anne Heche's card. Yeah. Well, it's not just Anne Heche. There's a whole list. Go back to the dude from Lincoln Park. There was
there's two.
Chris Cornell.
There was Chester Bennington. They were all
dude from Fast and the Furious.
They were all about the reveal.
Paul Walker. There was a couple other musicians. All were about to come out and bring some shit out about pedophiles and
celebrities,
celebrities, and all of them. And I don't know.
they all slipped up and caught a case of suicide.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean, you know, whether her foot was on the brake or not, the bitch was fighting the firemen that were putting her in the ambulance. You ever seen firemen put people in the ambulance before? Right then and there. The firemen. Why were the firemen wearing face masks like they were going into a burning house? Like, well, that whole scene looked Hollywood to me. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
It's like, and then on top of that, you have distrust for the mainstream media, so you can't believe what you see on TV anymore.
I've seen with my own eyes car accidents and people be taken off in an ambulance. I've seen that happen with my own eyes. Mm-hmm. They don't get out of the ambulance with their out of the fire truck with their full oxygen face masks on, run over to a car that's not fully on fire, yoke the passenger out and fight them into a fucking stretcher and body bag and then force them into an ambulance. That's with the firemen. That's
yes.
I guarantee you the CIA can control your smart cars already. If not,
of course they can.
It's rumored. It's conspiracy theory, which, you know, my slogan is the only conspiracy theory is the people that believe people don't conspire.
Look, let me lay out a little subject for you. You know, since you brought that subject up, they already can. That's exactly what China's social media thing is.
Yeah.
They have everything on there. Like, if you dip below a certain credit score in China, you can't even catch a fucking bus because everything you do is on that app. That's where we're headed.
Yeah, but
they're going to control everything. And if you fuck up and say the wrong thing, they're going to make your smart car not start.
Yeah, but they showed her setting up and fighting out from under the blanket as they were putting her into the ambulance. If you didn't catch the whole video.
Yes,
but yeah, no. Have you seen a Tesla will drive the fuck off if you don't make your payment?
Yeah.
It'll lock itself and drive the fuck off.
Self-repo. Like, what the fuck is that? It's no different. They're just
you think you're having a bad day?
They're working towards total control. And everything that they put on a network is controllable.
Yeah.
Gas cars are not controllable.
And 5G makes endless amounts of things controllable at once.
Yeah. So
like 5G is designed to be able to run, say, 300 drones at a time off a tower.
Popped up like something.
Yeah. Oh no, that whole shit was sketchy. Whole thing. That's why I exist. It's just like, I like to call out sketchy shit I see
the
on
very beginning of me noticing it was when they fucking Michael Jackson died. And then after he died, they realized this man had private doctors coming in here giving him injections of narcotics. That is where my eyes opened up about how these celebrities live in a different fucking world than we do. Because they are physically being addicted to drugs through doctors that they can hire.
So learning, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So learning what we know now, did Corey Haim commit suicide?
No, absolutely not.
Because he's the one that came out and said Michael Jackson is the one motherfucker we can trust. Remember that?
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, it ain't no different than Epstein committing suicide. He just didn't. They just don't want it out.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Safe Flight commercial that shows the guy locked in the car until he says yes. You know what? That you know.
See, that's the kind of fucked up shit that I'm talking about right there.
Right. Right. No.
No. Click.
No.
Happened, bro. That's scary.
Right. Did you get milk and bread? No.
Click. Keep your ass in the car until you do.
Yeah.
Go back to the fucking store.
Right. You have an existing warrant. Click.
Take you right to
driving to the nearest police pickup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Demolition Man is becoming more and more true.
Oh, dude,
like
it's
the free people are going to live in the sewers because we don't want to be a part of society up here where everything's connected.
Why didn't they just move to the country?
Because there is no country. And Demolition Man, the upstairs took over everything.
That's true, yeah. Yeah.
So you had to live in the sewer.
Anything with Dennis Leary.
Well, in the old streets or whatever they called it. But yeah, it was underneath the new streets.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But dude,
yeah, dude, fucking awesome fucking
Oh.
conversation, dude.
you know, you have to catch on to the fact one day, Christy, that they're showing you and telling you exactly what they want to do, but you're just desensitized to it.
Yeah, and that's what
You know what?
movies do.
Go
Like,
YouTube the movie Metropolis, the old black and white film. It's a silent film, but it was the Illuminati plan for the future, and it's creepy as fuck. It's a really good movie though. I like my black and white movies.
Yep, that's what movies do.
But no,
They
they're telling you
desensitize
their
to the
plan.
shit that's happening, and that's why these movies are in. These movies are filmed and starred by a Hollywood elite, which are super lefty liberals,
Oh yeah.
which is in turn in hand with the CIA and all this other shit. It's all a circle. You know, Independence Day. When Independence Day first came out, that was a great movie. You don't think about the big picture. That was a desensitization movie to prepare you for the possible aliens that we know are out there.
Are there
There's
aliens?
yeah, fuck yeah, there are. This fucking universe is way too big. You can't tell it. Mathematical probabilities say that there are a lot more species out there than what we have.
You know, when it comes to battery powered cars, the battery on my fucking car dies when it gets cold, and I don't feel like I understand why the battery on a battery powered car would be any different.
It's a different kind of battery.
I don't trust that for where I live in the country, battery power, unless he's going to give me a battery powered truck to prove me wrong. I don't believe that it's an efficient idea for the area.
It can't no, there's no infrastructure here.
No.
But in bigger cities, it's there.
Yeah.
But there's no infrastructure here for electric cars. And like half of our states are coal miners. They're like, you fuck your electricity.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not putting
Right.
Dude.
You take coal away from us, man. We're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, hell, look, let's drive around West Virginia and look what happened to the towns that the coal left.
And they're trying. They're trying. There's areas in West Virginia that are being developed for more technologically advanced, type things. But
I said it to state senate. I've said it to members of our House of Delegates, and I'll say it to you. Sometimes when times get hard and you realize you're going broke, you just got to realize it might be time to sell a little weed.
Yeah, or a lot.
It might be time to legalize it here and get it growing and get some money coming in. Nobody wanted to do it in Colorado, but look how they're living now.
But dude, that's only a process. That Colorado was no different.
Me too.
Colorado was no different than the way we are. At first, California, even as far back as the 90s, they legalized it in the 90s.
Right.
Far before anybody else did. But think about the process that they went through to get to that point. And we'll be no different.
Oh yeah,
We'll
well
be
the federal
different.
we'll be a little different because
Not really. Look how they started.
when
Less
they
than
first
2 years ago,
legalized it, the
Justin.
federal government was like, no.
Less than 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Was it 2017? So 5 years ago. Is when we passed the medical program.
Right.
When we passed the medical program here in West Virginia, the only reason you could get prescribed that shit was terminal illness. You were going to fucking die.
Right.
Now you get that shit for everything. Bro, I got a friend of mine. This Christy, the law person, might enjoy this one. I got a friend of mine who got a medical marijuana card for having PTSD from being in prison on a marijuana charge. Explain that one.
It's
That's
PTSD,
fucking great.
man.
You got PTSD from doing prison time for selling weed.
I got PTSD because my
fuck your PTSD.
my gym coach yelled at me.
And here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He was at the fucking Anthony Center. It don't even have fences.
I was
It's not
yelled
even
at
real
once.
prison.
You're giving me PTSD.
It's not even real
I
prison.
want a marijuana card.
Yeah. No. You already have it. You just need to pay the $200 and get your fucking license.
No, No.
Or you can just call me. I'll bring it to you.
They come asking me about firearms and Second Amendment
Oh, yeah. No,
shit.
fuck all that.
No,
I'm not
fuck
getting
all
no-
that, man.
I'm not getting no legal. I'll smoke it when it's recreationally legal. Until then, I'm not filling out no paperwork to sit there and say I can't smoke something.
I may or may not own firearms. I may or may not want some in the future. If I don't, I'm not. That's a trap. That's
Yeah,
a trick.
None of that's your business.
Right, that's a trap. You're gonna. I mean, there are people out here picking up a prescription of fucking fentanyl, and they can legally have a
Right.
fucking house
Right.
full of fucking weapons.
Right.
But if you get a marijuana card,
Yeah. Fuck y'all. That's why I don't trust anything they do.
you know what? Jim Jordan asked, and they didn't answer. Why is it a Class A drug? Nobody can answer why it's a Class A drug. It just is.
At least fucking that's the one good thing Joe Biden did. At least he did do that. It's no longer
Right.
a Schedule 1 drug.
Right.
They took it off of Schedule 1 so they can research it.
Well, don't worry, man.
So-
when we get to the 2024 election, Congress will suddenly have that marijuana bill that they passed in the 2020 election ready to sign it and send it to Biden's desk if he wins the election. It's like road cones in West Virginia in an election year. They put them all up.
But bro, that's just
Did they? They were talking about decriminalizing all the hard drugs in Oregon.
no. Yeah, Oregon decriminalized everything. Heroin, LSD, fucking you can do anything the fuck you want in Oregon. I'm pretty sure though.
So that's
They
what's
have-
at the end of the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have like maybe safe places or some shit that you can go and shoot up your drugs and like the whole nine, dude. Like, not just go pick up your drugs and go shoot it up on the street. No, you pick up your drugs and you go to a little private room back here with plenty of lighting and nurses on standby in case you puncture something. And yeah,
Yeah.
like Oregon went way off the fucking deep end.
I mean, it's not legal in Nancy
don't know.
Pelosi's hometown, and you've seen the footage from her hometown.
It's a fucking cesspool because
Look
that's what Democrats do. Same way with Baltimore, same way with Chicago, same way with New York City, all the big cities. Even deep red Texas has deep blue Austin, and it's a fucking cesspool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna change. But what you said right there, that's exactly the reason why people in Eastern Oregon are applying to become part of Idaho. They don't want to be part of Oregon no more.
Right.
Because Oregon, I think I heard them say Oregon has 51 counties. 49 of those counties are red. The two counties that are blue are Portland and another big state, another big city, like Emporia maybe, or some.
Right.
Two big cities control what the whole state does.
Right.
And these fucking counties that are red and have been red for 10 years or more, they're tired of that shit. So they applied for secession from the state of Oregon to become a member of Idaho.
Right.
That's unheard of. It's unreal. Counties are upset and they're moving states.
Hey, Christy, make sure you subscribe so that we can pop up next week when we come on
Yeah.
next Monday morning.
And
Glad you're here.
All your comments are definitely going to help us get our word out. So
Yeah, it's
appreciate
good.
that.
It's good to have
fucking
some
awesome.
engagement. Finally.
So, and tell all your friends what assholes we are so we can get some people in.
And he's two dumb hicks.
Yeah, it's fucking rednecks. Hell yeah. Oh man, it's almost that time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to call it quits. Thanks for
Yep.
joining in, and
Yeah, appreciate it.
we'll
Yeah.
see what kind of shit happens in the world this week, and get back and talk about it next.
Hell yeah. Look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Right.
Same time, same channel. Different
Same time.
subjects, I hope. But
Well, I don't know, man. If he drops the Twitter
hey,
COVID
I think
files,
Twitter,
we'll be talking about
Twitter for the next fucking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes are gonna be juicy.
that. Yeah.
So, but anyway, till next week.
Till next week. Thank you for joining in.
See y'all.
Have a good week.